Greetings, mate, and welcome aboard. Stuart Charles here, HomeStudioBasics.com, helping you, yes you, make sound decisions. So, never heard of JOYROOM? Me neither, but you should know them, and that's why I'm here. Today we'll be reviewing their surprisingly excellent OE3, a different IEM that puts a lot of others I've tried to shame. By the time you're finished watching this video, you'll know why it's a fantastic choice and a clear step up from a lot of the consumer trash that permeates the industry. With that, let's dive in. Built-in features. Supporting connection to two Bluetooth devices simultaneously, the JOYROOM OE3 is an open-ear, true wireless, clip-on style earbud with a different makeup than your average Joe. JOYROOM describes it as an innovative L-bridge design with better directional sound transmission, less sound leakage, clearer audio, and a closer proximity to the ear canal. And all of these things are unequivocally true. Because they wrap around your ears, you won't have to worry about the buds falling out. A fairly annoying problem I've had with other products, including headphones. I can quite literally and vigorously shake and move my head in any direction and they won't fall out. Don't do this around people as you'll probably be labeled a reject, but it's fine to do in the comfort of your own home while you're lounging around in your undies. The buds are crafted from highly elastic, skin-friendly material embedded with flexible titanium alloy wires, and the earbuds are self-adaptive to your ears. Weighing in at a measly 4.9 grams, they can be worn all day without a problem. Additionally, there's no need to distinguish between left and right. The left and right sound channels and spatial audio experience are automatically calibrated based on how you wear them. Speaking of wearing them, inserting them into your ears can be quite weird at first, but bear with it.
Bear with it. It's designed to prevent hypothermia. This is Alaska, you know.
Basically, you insert the bud as normal, but the other piece wraps around your lobe, and you can adjust the position up and down until you get a good fit and the best sound. Play around with it. I really appreciate this because of what we're about to discuss, their sound. I'll leave links to all my playlists below. Sources include FLAC and Spotify. It's been quite a long time since something really grabbed my attention as much as the OE3, but that's exactly what this unassuming little earbud did. First off, you'll notice how clear, articulate, and revealing everything is. Instead of penetrating your ears with loud and indecipherable walls of dog poop, the OE3 takes a different approach. The sound is incredibly resolving, but the notes have grace and finesse like the delicate brushstrokes of a jazz drum kit. In other words, they're not intrusive, brash, or flippant about the reproduction of sound waves. Everything feels natural, effortless, and organic. The music breathes and pulsates, and though it doesn't feel like you're there, it certainly comes across as more realistic. In fact, the OE3 represents the speaker-like experience perhaps better than any other IEM I've tried. They do a great job of spacing everything out and ensuring instruments and vocals are actually placed inside a soundstage, a hallmark trait of good studio monitors. As I always say, pay attention to the source file and how the song was engineered, but regardless of someone's mixing/mastering prowess, you will start to hear everything that went into the recording, giving you a newfound appreciation for not only the artist, but recorded sound in general. On a cover of Maurice Ravel's, I'm not even going to attempt to try to pronounce that, link below, you can actually hear the strange high-pitched whines and bell-type noises that emanate from the piano after the notes are struck. They're subtle and way in the background, but the fact that the OE3 can pick them up is quite astounding. These are things you won't likely notice in the majority of consumer products, and the fact that the OE3 at its price point of well below $100 can make these things known is quite astonishing. As a producer, I wish more companies would take after JOYROOM and commit to understanding this basic concept. I've been making it simple for like the last 10 videos on my YouTube channel, but I'll try again, this time even simpler. If the low end of your product is already boosted into oblivion, what do you think is going to happen when you try to listen to a beat that the producer already boosted into oblivion? I'll give you a hint. It's going to sound like stale dog water. Not all beats are like this, but some producers like Ninth Wonder boost the low end quite a bit, and the combo is a recipe for lots and lots of pain. A world of it.
A world of pain.
The fact that JOYROOM avoids these pitfalls is an enormous breath of fresh air, as I was beginning to think I'd never come across a well-tuned Bluetooth product ever again. Other features include an app to enable bass boost mode, low latency mode, EQ tuning for different sound styles, customizable control, etc. The OE3 also utilizes a tap control that can be employed anywhere on the buds, but they recommend tapping at the center of the piece that wraps around your ear. Double tap to play pause, triple tap the left bud for the previous track, and triple tap the right bud for next track. For factory reset, press and hold the case button for 8 seconds. The case indicator will flash white quickly 3 times. Now that I've had a small break from getting worked up, let's finish this out. I find it funny that this company calls itself JOYROOM because that's exactly what happened when I first put them on. I was in a room and I felt joy. Joy that a Bluetooth product actually sounds good. It doesn't happen often. Joy that some companies know what the heck they're doing, even if not everyone is going to agree on the bass or whatever. Boo-hoo, there's no beat space here. Where's all my beat space? You'll get over it. Snark aside, I'm serious. Most of the Bluetooth buds and headphones I review are meh with a couple of outliers, but the OE3 is truly worth a look. Plus it's like $70. How? The sound of these is $150 minimum. Grammatics Fly With Me sounds incredibly different as well. All sorts of strange sounds emerge, most notably something that sounds like a cross between a horn and a human voice that's breathing or yawping or something. It's kind of hard to describe and sounds really cool and horrifying at the same time, like a Barbaric Yawp.
Barbaric Yawp.
These are the types of things that will manifest as you listen to your favorite tracks, in effect making you want to go back and rediscover music you've long since forgotten about and/or thought you knew like the back of your hand. The sounds are subtle, but the exemplary resolution allows for an incredibly rich, immersive, and satisfying experience that makes you want to pay more attention to music in general and how it was engineered. Another thing you'll notice is balance. Each part of the frequency response is represented accurately and faithfully. All food groups represented, your mom married Mr. Rogers, etc.
All the food groups are represented.
Vocals and instruments are incredibly clear and articulate, the mid-range is present and accounted for, a highly underrated trait in cheap trash, and the treble is crisp while not succumbing to sibilance or bite. Because of their lightweight and unobtrusive, clean, clear sound, they're much easier on your eardrums and hearing. Contrary to popular belief, it's not okay for your ears to be subjected to horrendously boosted bass in a closed system all day. That's a recipe for hearing loss, and we want to avoid it at all costs. To achieve their near impeccable sound, the earbuds employ a built-in 13mm speaker with a composite diaphragm and a 10mm oversized magnetic circuit. They're also equipped with a bass compensation algorithm, effectively counteracting low frequency leakage and ensuring an optimal audio experience. This may be a bit jarring at first, as you'll notice music adjusts in real time as it evaluates from track to track. This doesn't always happen, but you will notice it. Some users will undoubtedly find these a bit bass light, and thus will need to boost it, and yes, I understand completely. But I personally really enjoy the textured, balanced profile and lack of bloat, bleed, mud, hum, etc. Because the bass is out of the way, you're able to hear everything that went into the track a lot more easily. The great part about these is that they'll hit with impact when the song or track calls for it. This is apparent on DJ Grumble's Choppin' Ish, which slams with authority while not sounding overly boosted. I will caution you that it's not all gravy. The thing is, I listened to these for about an hour, intently focused on the resolution before I got to a track that didn't sound quite right. This track happens to be Death Cab for Cutie's Foxglove Through the Clear Cut. It just didn't snap like I was expecting. I've listened to it maybe hundreds of times over the last 3 years with lots of different gear, and it always sounded a certain way to me. Through the OE3, it does not sound that certain way. It sounds kind of bad if I'm being honest. This is the exception and not the Ja Rule. But every thug needs a lady! But again, you could just come across a track every now and then that's not mixed or mastered well. I personally don't believe that to be the case for the aforementioned track, but I'm not entirely sure what the culprit is. In other words, who cares? Why am I still talking about this? The fantastic resolution is further exemplified when listening to podcasts, ball games, film, etc. You'll start to hear all sorts of things that simply aren't noticeable with other over-ear headphones. For instance, in listening to a Braves baseball recap on Spotify, I can literally hear every bump, knock, and shuffle of the person speaking into the microphone. almost visualizing the messy desk he occupies. The fact that these sound so good wireless is a true testament to their resolving power. I can only hope JOYROOM makes a wired version in the future or comes out with some sort of update to this one down the road. Final verdict. JOYROOM's OE3 is undoubtedly the best earbud under $100 that I've heard, and a magnificent achievement for roughly 70 doll hairs. All 70 of them, the doll hairs, will be put to good use as they have a very well-tuned and almost perfect profile with resolving power on par with products way out of their price pool. If you want to get excited about a piece of gear, get excited about this one, and not the one that's 25 G's, which will leave you whoring your local street corners for more cheese. And that's it.